onto a character that, how shall we say, doesn't know who he's aligned to. Hello and welcome to my second part of my Armada review. I'm the Fallen 835 and today we've already looked at Minicons. So what is next in Armada? What was one thing that Armada stood out for? And in my opinion, it's a reworking of characters we already know, such as Megatron, or introducing new characters such as Cyclonus and Demolisher. But I'm not going to look at them today. I will look at a character who, in the Transformers universe, is probably known for one thing, and that is being an Autobot scientist who is crazy as hell and none of his inventions work. However, in Armada, he wasn't that at all. In fact, in Armada, he was a Decepticon. Yes, Wheeljack, Armada Wheeljack. So before I look at the toy, as always, I'll start off with his bio. Now, Wheeljack was a former Autobot. However, in one mission on Cybertron, he was caught underneath some debris in a fire. And despite his best friend, Hotshot, trying to rescue him, he failed. However, someone else did rescue him, Megatron. And because of this, he aligned himself with the Decepticons and believed that the Autobots were... He hated them, basically, for leaving him. However, he always wears his scarred insignia on his vehicle mode to remind him of what he left, which is quite prominent. He's got quite a lot of vengeance inside of him, which really shows in his character bio. His Minicon is Windshear, which is a jet, which I'll show in a minute. He first appeared in Armada the cartoon in the episode Past, parts 1 and 2, which was a two-part designed to just introduce the character and get this whole backstory out, which was a really good episode, very well written. In fact, one of the only Armada episodes that really stand out in history and go, yeah, that was actually quite good. Yeah. Now the toy is the Takara version, which I'll show in a minute. There are some differences between the Takara version and the Hasbro version, but I'll get into that in a minute. So, without further ado, let's get to the toy. And so here we have Wheeljack, and as you can see, he's a sports car. Really love this car mode. Don't know what it says about it, but I just like the whole smoothness of the car. As you can see, the main colours are this prominent black. However, he does have blue stripes running through the bodywork, and also some yellow can be seen. If you look on the back, you can see a bit of the robot mode, some arms, some legs. You sort of know how it's going to transform. But the best bit is this insignia on the front here, where you can see the Autobot symbol has been slashed out, and underneath there, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, is a small Decepticon symbol, which is really great. I really love that. Nice added details. As you can see on the side, his missiles can store quite well, like so. He also has more painted detail on the back, some headlights, and for the cab there. So really nice. Now the difference between this version and the Hasbro version is that the blue stripes you see on the Hasbro version were actually yellow, and this is because this version, the Takara version, is what he appeared in the cartoon. However, the Hasbro version is what he appeared in the Armada Dreamwave comics. So yeah, I like this version better because it appeared in the cartoon. It looks more cartoon accurate because I'm a massive must look exactly the same as cartoon when it comes to that. Another detail is on the rims. He has these gold details on the wheels. Really lovely. It makes it stand out. And overall, this is just a great mode. Now, as you can see, he has Minicon ports there, and there. He doesn't have any more. His Minicon, which I will show him. This is Windshear. As you can see, he's a jet, a sort of stealth-ish bomber type thing. Again, got the same amount of detail, the black, some red, and of course the yellow, like we saw on Wheeljack. Really nice Minicon. I'll show his off in the end because Minicons are good, but only if you get some. On to Wheeljack. So, you can take the Minicon like so, and that port there, which is the only activating Minicon port, you basically, now, how much is this? There's a Minicon port at the bottom, take it, line it up, and get your hands out of the way, because this is what will happen. If it can work. Voila! As you can see, he now has a flying car mode, which, yeah, he has basically wings. The car has wings. What the hell is that all about? What is it all about? Really? It's just... Although there is something good, you get the nice Decepticon symbol on the inside of it. However, there is one big problem with this mode. That, basically. The transformation already starts, so you can't really put this mode into any good use, to be honest. It's not that good. It'd be alright if they could have somehow made this back portion of the car stick, so you could have that, which looks a bit like a futuristic time travelling thing. I don't know. Use your own imagination. But yeah. Which leads us on to transformation. So, you've already seen the first part, which is basically pull this down, like so, let the legs hang out, come to the legs. Now, split them, like so, fold them out like this, so they're like that. And now basically you want to fold them down like so, and as you can see, there's little grooves there, and when you're doing this, the legs have to be fully out. They can't be closed, because if they're closed it will damage the figure. So fully out like this, and then simply snap it in, and do the same for the other one. So fully out, snap it in like so, and then you can just simply push it in like so, and you've nearly got the feet done. Nearly. All you got to do now is these white bits flip out. They're his heels, like so. Nice little feet there. Again, flip out the heel spurs, like so. So you have some legs. You have his legs done and dusted. Now, moving on to the top part of the transformation. This is where it can be a bit difficult, but not that much. You come to the top here, and you want to... These arms are plugged in by little bits here, so you simply have to unplug them like so. Now, you'll see, hopefully, the little plug there. It plugs into a hole which is there. Now, you simply have to unplug them and then take the wheels and fold them out as much as you can, like so. Maybe you have to get the arms out like that. It does help if you have the arms out. You can then come round to the back and fold this whole section down like so, so it's no longer attached to the top part, which gives you clearance to be able to do this. Like, which, now this can be difficult, like just in there. Basically, you have to turn this bit around, and there is a simple way of doing it. You have to get this all meshed up, line up. So, first of all, you can sort of basically have to flip this out like so, so it has clearance for the head to pass through, like so, like that. So you have it like this. Now the hole, there's a peg there, there's a hole in there, they simply have to peg in. So peg it in like so. I don't know if you're going to see this, hopefully you can see this. So basically we just pegged it in and it should look like this. Like so. And then simply come to the back, fold this down like so, and there, in a sense, you have Wheeljack transformed and into his robot mode. And yeah, his robot mode is quite cool actually. Let's look at the detail first of all. His head. Hopefully the camera will pick it up. His head is really, really detailed. Don't know if you can focus in. It really is. You've got gold for the face, and then for the eyes you have black, and also black for the head crest, which is really, really nice. Again, they've got this detail on the cab section here. Really nice detail. Again, white plastic for the joints and the arms, which, yeah, over time you could start to fade, but that's only if you keep it in the sun for long enough. One big problem, I suppose, of this mode, get it out of the way, is the backpack. The backpack is quite big and it doesn't peg in anywhere. It just flops about. You could sort of try and push it in, but it doesn't really peg. It's nice storage for the weapons here, for the missiles, but apart from that, not much, really. Articulation, first of all, because the articulation on this figure is really good for an Armada figure. So, let's start with the arms. The arms can bend at the elbow, like so. They can also move up and down by these wheels, but as you can see, it's very stiff, because what is happening is that plastic is rubbing up against the bonnet of the car, which means over time, that'll start to wear away the plastic, and all this nice black paint will start to rub off, so do not do that. If you want to like bend your figure, just have it so it's something like this, because that looks much better than what it did, and I don't know why, but there we are. So you can have him bending his arms like that, not fully out. Come to the legs. Legs can go back and forth, like so. Again, like so. They don't bend at the elbow, at the knee, sorry. However, they do swivel, so they can go like this. So you can have him, there's a bit of a stance, although now he looks chicken-legged and weird and messed up, in my opinion. So yeah, keep him mainly like this. Again, you've got little, I suppose you have articulation on his feet here due to transformation, so you could get him in some reasonable poses, I would say. But Armada figures of those days weren't necessarily famed for their articulation, which doesn't matter. However, another cool feature of this is his weapons here can be turned, well, his missiles can be turned into weapons. They act as both, and the same in the show, actually. So, the way you fire them is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this, hopefully. There's a little button here, a little thing here, press this in and, wait for it. Now this is going to, it's very stiff, so there, like so, you can fire the weapon out. The weapon here, as you can see, is just a piece of plastic. It kind of looks like a gun he had in the show, like so, but, and then you can simply take the weapon, and as you can see, he has holes in his hands, and they simply plug in, like so, and now he has weapons, and he looks, well, if you can pick them in, that is, because sometimes his weapons like to fall out. You just have to force them in until they're nice and stiff, like so. So you can have him doing some kung fu shit with these sword weapons, lasery, blastery things of doom, which looks pretty amazing. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all the figure. Overall, would I recommend this figure? Yes, I would. This is one of the must-have Armada figures if you like the line, along with Megatron and most of the other Decepticons. However, I would say he is probably one of the weakest Decepticons because he's quite flimsy in some parts, and his transformation can get a little bit annoying at times, as well as this backpack. So, just a couple of things to take into consideration when you're thinking of buying this figure. But overall, I would recommend it. If you're a fan of Wheeljack, any Wheeljack, you have to get him. If you're a fan of Decepticon, get him. If you're a fan of Armada, get him. He's a good toy. You will not be confused. You will not miss out at all. So, yeah, that's Wheeljack. One more thing to talk about. His Minicon. And so on to his Minicon, and here he is, Wind Shear. As you can see, he's this cool looking jet, probably some sort of stealth jet, but it's good. For transformation it's quite easy. You have flip down the legs, like so, flip them all the way out, like so, come around to the top, bend this whole section out, like so, and then simply tab it all in underneath there. And there, really, you nearly have him. You then have to flip these little feet out here. Flip the little feet out, like so. Bend them, like so. And then finally, what you do with the arms is you flip these up like so, flip them up, so it's like this, like that, bend them out, and then simply flip down the arms. And now this reminds me very much of another Minicon, the Minicon who came with Skywarp, Armada Skywarp, which is why I love it so much, because I love that Minicon, Thunderclash. Really nice Minicon, probably one of the best out of the deluxes so far of Armada that I've got. So I would highly recommend getting the figure, even if it's just for a Minicon. Or if you can find the Minicon on its own, it's worth getting. So that's my review of Wheeljack. I hope you've enjoyed it, and that sort of brings to the end my celebration of Armada's 10 years. I hope you've enjoyed these reviews, and if you want any more figures reviewed, Armada, or any others, please say, and I will try and do them as fast as I can. So until then, until next time everyone, bye bye from me. Hope you have a nice day.